headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We're going to answer your questions. The call is free, 888-825-5225, and some say the advice is worth exactly what you pay for it. Lydia starts this hour in Orlando. Hi, Lydia. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Jade. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. What's up in your world?
Well, I just wanted to share kind of a success story and maybe a little bit of hope surrounding the SVB bank failure. My husband actually works for a tech company, a small tech company in California. He works remotely, but about 1 year ago took a job at one of these small tech companies, and come to find out last week, his company was one of those that had their deposits at SVB Bank. We found out Monday that the deposits are going to be backed by the FDIC and the other insurances that the other banks, I guess, participate in. So his business is going to be okay. But there was a little bit of time there where we weren't sure. But to give a little bit of backstory as well, my husband and I started following the baby steps about 9 years ago, and we completely got out of debt. We're in baby steps 4 through 6, and we even are going through our first FPU class as coordinators. So we've never done it before, and we're going through as coordinators.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we were able to kind of walk through some of the principles with our FPU class, and we actually just went through the emergency fund week, and we decided to beef up our emergency fund from 3 months to 5 months because my husband's job is a little bit risky as far as
little did we know.
A tried and true company. Yes, so we, being in baby steps 4, 5, and 6, and just 1 year ago, we started really trying to tackle our mortgage more aggressively than just maybe we had been before. We just kind of gotten through debt, and then we were doing some other stuff in our life. Now we're to the point where everything's settled down. We've gone through that stuff, and now we're trying to pay off 4, 5, and 6 and pay off our mortgage. But because we took this risky job, we took what we were paying for our mortgage, and we started putting it in like a side account, like this is the mortgage payment, but just in case something happens with this job, we still have this fund that we can reach into. So last month, so that was 1 year ago. Last month, we saved up for a whole year, and we were able to save $60,000 for our mortgage.
Wow.
Way to go.
And we were last month, I kid you not, this was February 23rd, so probably only 3 weeks ago. We got news from his company that they did a second round of funding, and their venture capitalist investors funded them enough to secure operations for at least 3 years. So in addition to the sales that they make, this additional capital investment would guarantee operating income for the next 3 years, and that would make payroll and all of that. So all of that money that they had just gotten in February was put into SVB Bank, 100%. So,
wow.
And we get the news, we're sitting here in February going, this is great news. We have at least 3 more years with this job. It's time to reach and pay off that mortgage or, write that check to the mortgage company. So we did. February 23rd, we wrote a check, $60,000 to the mortgage company. And then last week we get the news that SVB Bank is failing.
SVB says, hold my beer. Yeah.
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Company may not be able to make payroll. I mean, we have no idea where this is going to end up. Now, we're about 1 more week into it. We have a little bit more information and a little bit more security. But I really just want to thank you for the advice that we got on board with, almost 10 years ago, because now we were set up to be in a place where even if he lost his job, we were secure.
Yeah.
We have no debt except our mortgage.
Yeah.
We only have, we had beefed up our emergency fund to that 5-month mark.
How much is left on the mortgage?
We have about 400 left.
Way to go, kiddo.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Way to go. I'm proud of y'all. Well, that's what happens when you're smart
really
and you follow the steps. You have financial peace.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah, I was told we're going to tell our FPU class here this week. You know, we just went through the lesson about the emergency fund, that we're really happy and dry under our large umbrella.
I love it.
We do to the principles that you teach. We're very grateful.
Well, we're grateful to you. Thanks for telling your story. And wow, I mean, that's pretty incredible.
That's something. I love it. It will rain, Dave. Like, it's going to rain. You don't know what form it's going to take, but doing those steps and having everything in order, she was able to, you know, even if he had lost his job for a while, they would have been just fine.
Yeah. And it may take them a little while to make payroll.
That's right.
The venture capital firm funds it for 3 years, dumps all of that funding into this bank. See, it's a venture capital bank.
Yes.
That's what it was. Mainly tech startups,
right.
and VC money, and even some hedge fund money. But there wasn't much grandma's CDs in there. There wasn't like regular people in this bank.
Right. This is not your local credit union bank.
This is not your regional bank that you should be doing business with. But yeah, wow.
That's something.
So yeah, Lydia didn't have any money in there, but her husband's company's funding was in there, and boom, may keep them maybe a little while before they get that money.
That's true.
To be able to make payroll, but doesn't matter. She's in good shape.
Yeah, that's great. I love that story. Thanks for sharing that, Lydia.
Very, very well done. So here's the thing. We talk about this all the time, and Jade and I have experienced it. A lot of you have too, that when you have a fully funded emergency fund, let's call it $10, $15, $20, $35, $40,000, whatever that is, whatever your rainy day fund is of 3 to 6 months of expenses, it turns an emergency, a drama-filled, and this one was really drama-filled.
Oh, yeah.
Emergency into an inconvenience.
That's right. Because you know you're ready for it. No one likes, let's be honest, no one likes to spend their emergency fund, right? It's there and you're hoping you never have to touch it. But when that moment comes and it starts raining and your job is at risk, or, you know, the car breaks down, water heater goes out, roof blows off, that's when that money comes in handy.
Strange. I remember one of the first times we actually had a fully funded emergency fund was the heating and air.
Yeah.
And you know what's weird is when you're when it has a big impact on you emotionally, the numbers stick in your memory.
They do. Yes.
It was $3,842.
Well, that ain't bad, because mine was $5,002.
This was a long time ago.
Okay.
A long time ago. Dinosaurs installed the new one. But, yeah. Oh, wow.
That's true, though. Yeah, you remember what you spent. That's for sure.
It locks in, and yet it was only an inconvenience.
That's right.
Because every other time we had an emergency, there was a lot of drama. Takes the drama out when you got financial peace.
Amen.
This is the Ramsey Show. If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to save up to 40% off everything site-wide. Go to Blinds.com for more information. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for being with us, America. Hey, if you're enjoying the show, would you do us a favor? If you're not enjoying the show, you should go listen to something else. But if you're enjoying the show, do us a favor, please. Obviously, we don't charge you for this, and we need your help. We need you to subscribe to the show or follow the show, depending on whether you're a YouTuber or a podcast on Apple or Google Play or Spotify, wherever you are. Follow, subscribe. Big time helps. Leave a 5-star review. We don't need any 1 stars. They're not helpful. Your mother said if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So move on. If you're going to troll, just troll on. And the other thing you can do is share the show. Take a link, share it. If you're listening on talk radio, tell people where you're listening. If you're watching on TBN, tell them you're watching, what time of day, how you're doing all this. Just spread the word. We just found out that on Apple, as an example, we are the number 16 podcast in the world right now, out of millions of them. I think there's like 2 or 3 million podcasts at this minute.
Wow. And
we've had over 1 billion downloads of this show. So it's kind of crazy. And 100% of that happened because you guys told someone, because we do not have a football stadium named after us. We did not spend $300 million on advertising last year. So I'm sorry. My allergies are bad. But we're just like helping people instead of screwing them. And and you guys tell people, and thank you. Thank you for that. So check it out. And our guys really don't like number 16 around here on Apple. They want to be in the top 10. So
I know that's
you
right.
guys will spread the word. At least get us to 15, for God's sake. 16 is lonely, but yeah.
Almost 15.
There we go. Hey, listen, every time you hear somebody do a debt-free scream, it's because at some point they finally said, I've had it. I'm not living like this anymore. And a lot of people out there today in this current environment are scared, overwhelmed. Been there myself. I know how it feels. And if that's where you are, listen, it's time to do something different. You have to try something new. What you're doing isn't working. Been there myself. Not picking on you, just time for something new. If you don't like the cake, change the recipe, baby. Hey, you got to rethink it. And we'll show you how in Financial Peace University, our 9-week, 9-lesson course that's helped nearly 10 million people how to get out of debt, build wealth, become outrageously generous. And we're going to do something right now that we haven't done before in a while. Been a long time. Right now, go check out a sample of Financial Peace University for free. You can sample it. Kind of like those cool snacks at Costco.
That's what I was just thinking, Dave.
Yeah. See, it's lunchtime, but there's that. So don't go another day with being out of control or scared. Take back control and get a free sample. Go to RamseySolutions.com/peace, P-E-A-C-E. RamseySolutions.com/ wouldn't you like to have some peace? Everybody could use some more peace. Financial peace, 2 words that don't go together, like airline service. There we go. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Cecilia is, or Cicely? How do you say it?
Cecily.
Cecily is
So
in
close.
Philadelphia. Hi, Cecily. How can we help?
Hi. So it turns out my grandparents are kind of weird people. And I just discovered that they left me, or they're still alive, but they helped me pay for school, and I'm currently a student, but they have a lot of money in the 529 account. And I have 10 grand in student loans just because I didn't know how much was in it. And now I'm wondering what to do, how to pay it off. And
How much is in the 529?
I think after I finish school in a year, it'll still be $130,000.
Wow.
So my parents helped pay for college, except for that. I had 20 grand in student loans, and I rolled 10 grand from my 529 over onto the student loan, so I still have 10 grand left.
How did you roll 529 money into a student loan?
There's a new policy where you can take out 10 grand to pay for student loan debt from a 529.
One time or
Not
per
last
year?
One time. It was a new Biden policy.
Okay. Then you're going to also get a penalty on the rest of it that you removed to pay off the other student loan. The only other thing you can do is if you're under the new Secure Act, which is probably where that fell, but I didn't see that provision in it. Under the new Secure Act, if you leave it alone for 15 years, you can roll it to a Roth IRA and just let it sit there. It's going to grow. Put it in good mutual funds and let it grow for 15 years, and then roll it to a Roth IRA, which is exactly what I would do with it, other than I would take enough out to pay off the student loan once you're out of school.
Mm-hmm. So it's 15 years from when the Secure Act passed?
Yep. No, from...
Okay.
2024.
I guess it's from your graduation.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what the start date is on that. I don't know whether it's when the 529 was formed or from when you graduate. But it's basically if you keep an old 529 around a long time, it can be rolled to a Roth IRA. And it effectively is a Roth IRA anyway because it grows tax-free. So you can put it in good mutual funds just like it was a Roth, let it grow, and just pretend like it's Roth money. And then roll it to a Roth whenever the appropriate date is, and you'd have to get a little more research on it.
Would I be able to put it in like kids' names?
You can use it for kids, you can use it for siblings, you can use it for spouses, you can use it for anybody, anything you want to do. And it's 15 years from the date it was opened. James just looked it up and said that in my head, in my ear, in my ears.
It is 29 years old, so.
Well, I think you can roll it to a Roth now then. So what I would do with it is, what's your degree going to be in?
Social work, Master's of Social Work.
Okay. What are you planning to do?
Medical social work.
Okay. What does that pay?
Upwards 85 to 100 if I'm doing well.
Okay. So medical social work's obviously a different field then. Okay. Good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same degree, but if you work in specialty,
that's what I mean.
Better.
Yeah, the specialty's where the money's going to be. Okay, good. So if you can roll out making 85, I wouldn't touch the thing at all. I would just pay off your student loans with your income.
Okay.
When you get out, don't take out any more. Obviously, use the 529 to graduate with no additional debt. Pay off your debt out of your income, and then this becomes a Roth IRA when you graduate.
Wow. Okay.
That's exactly what I would do. If James's information he just pulled up from the trustworthy internet is accurate, then this is already eligible because it's 15 years from the time it was opened.
That sounds right. That sounds like what I read.
It doesn't make sense though, because if you have a 4-year-old, 15 years later, they're 19, so, and they can roll it to a Roth. That sounds weird, but listen, it's the Biden administration, it's the IRS.
It could be very weird,
There's nothing here that's predictable. So
all things are possible.
Yeah, be sure you check all that out and make sure you've got that right. But because it's all brand new, number one. Number two, we don't have the details. And we're Googling it as fast as we're talking here, and that's about it. But but the concept is there. 15 years after some date, you'll be able to move it to Roth. If that information is correct, then the way I parlayed that'll work for you. But since you only got 10 grand, if you had 60 grand in student loans, I'd probably use some of the 529, wouldn't you?
I would.
Yeah, there'll be a penalty on it.
Yeah, but I think it might be worth
getting rid of it
as opposed to the time it would take to pay it off.
Yeah. Because that's what that money is for, is for school. You know, I would not cash out your Roth IRA for a penalty.
No way. No, I wouldn't do that.
Well, it's similar mathematics is the problem. But the Roth IRA it's got a brand on it as far as I'm concerned. Do not touch.
Right. Where 529 really is earmarked for paying for school.
Yeah. So even if you took a penalty because your weird grandparents didn't even bother to tell you had $150,000 sitting there. Oops. I forgot to tell you. To your $20,000 in student loan debt.
She said they were weird. So.
I know, she did. She meant it. Yeah.
She did.
They're definitely asleep at the wheel. This is The Ramsey Show. We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility, because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily, so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey. One of the ways we learn stuff on this show as hosts is we screw stuff up. So during the break, we dig into this Roth IRA conversion from 529 stuff, and you found a site. What's the name of the site?
This is just U.S. News, Money.
Okay.
Money.us News.
We hope that's right then.
It's a good site. I use it quite a bit.
Okay.
Well, it's talking about the new provisions from the Secure Act 2.0, and the last caller was talking about what can she do
with $130,000 Roth IRA, or $130,000 529. I told her she could roll it to a Roth if it was 15 years old.
Yeah, which she can. The Roth IRA, the 529 has to be more than 15 years old, but you can only roll $35,000, limited lifetime. So she can't roll the whole amount, and not only that, she can only roll up to the annual contribution limits for the Roth IRA, so $6,000.
Yeah, $6,000. So it takes 6 years to put $35,000 in there.
Yeah.
And you're not doing your Roth while you're doing that.
That's right, because you're maxing it out.
Yeah. So that would change my advice then. I would tell her instead to use this for her kid.
Yeah.
Because you can use it for your children unlimited and spouses unlimited. And so since the whole roll it to the Roth IRA thing is so pinched down and bottlenecked, in other words, this is Washington, D.C. and going, look, we did something. Oh, wait, when you get into the details, it's not worth a crap.
True.
Okay. And that's kind of what that is. So
and she'd also have to wait till 2024.
They choked it down so far it's useless. It was a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
To be able to do this, encourage people to save money, but by God, the IRS wants their cut. So you're not going to get to do much of whatever it is. And then the politicians strut around acting like they did something. Well,
it's making the assumption that you wouldn't contribute to a Roth IRA on your own. So you have to use this to move it over.
Well, I mean, but why not just let the whole thing roll over? That's just, if you were going to do it. That's what we thought it was. And that was a good idea, but... Oh, no. All right. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Christian and Christine are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, good.
Well.
Where do you guys live?
Near Lynchburg, Virginia.
All right. Welcome. Good to have you. Been up there a couple of times speaking at Liberty, and so good to have you guys with us. How much debt have you paid off?
$156,936.
Yeah. And how long did this take?
About 4.5 years.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
$83,000 to $138,000.
Excellent. What do y'all do for a living?
So I'm the director of operations for a Christian nonprofit.
And I'm a professor of nursing at a local university.
Ah, cool. Which one?
Liberty.
Oddly enough. Strangely enough. Okay, cool. Well, good. Well, we're big fans of Liberty around here. And so $157,000. Director of nursing. Was that a student loan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Not such a big fan of Liberty now. No. Okay. All right. So the whole thing student loans?
So 3 of it was cars. That was about $20,000. The rest was our student loans, mostly mine. But
how long you guys been married?
It'll be 10 years in January.
What happened after 5 years that gave you the wake-up call and said, we're getting out of debt?
Yeah, so I was on maternity leave with our oldest, and Murphy hit the house, and everything started breaking, like our car, our HVAC, and our fridge. The fridge was the last one, and I remember sitting there with her on my chest, and they had just called and said it would be $250 to fix the fridge. And I pulled up my bank account to see if I had enough money, because we had no emergency fund. Like, we were both working full time, but still like had nothing. But we literally had nothing. We had $30 in our bank account, and it was that moment.
Food's gonna spoil.
Yeah. And so that was kind of the moment I was like, how do we have full-time jobs and good careers and not have anything to our name?
I love it.
And so we were Dave-ish for a while because we had a newborn, and then we got pregnant again with our second. And then it wasn't until after our second was born that we finally hit it strong and did it.
What made you turn up the heat to hit it strong?
A lot of things, like having the kids, just like knowing that we wanted to be able to provide for them, and just debt just weighed us down. Like, we couldn't do anything. We felt like we couldn't do anything without getting more debt, and so but we didn't want to do that. So,
well, and as she said, we both had full-time jobs. We were working hard, and it felt like you had nothing. You work your 40 hours a week, you come home, and all the money's going to someone else.
So how did you actually find out about, Baby Steps, Dave Ramsey, Financial Peace? Which one was it?
It was the church we were attending at the time, and now the church we're coordinating at the church we go to now.
Cool.
Yeah,
very
so
good.
Lots of fun.
Very cool.
The Thomas Road, or?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They did a church-wide Financial Peace University.
Yeah.
Pastor Jonathan was a friend of mine, and I went up there and spoke when they did that. And so a lot of the major churches have done church-wide FPUs. And so, anyway, cool. Very good, guys. So the church comes along with FPU at just the time you guys needed it.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
essentially.
Yep.
And now you're the coordinator to do that for somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Having a great time with it. And our FPU classes, really excited that we're here, and we let them know we'd be coming over to do our screen.
Love
excited.
it.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So what was the big catalyst? Was it that you started budgeting? Did you have to do any side work? Like, how did you...
What broke it loose?
Yeah.
So thankfully we didn't, we considered side work, but we didn't have to. We just figured ways to, one, grow our career. But before that, it was definitely a budget. Like, we sat down, that first budget meeting probably was like 3 hours long, and we were not happy with each other at the end of it.
That's so sweet the way you said that.
Yeah.
We killed each other. Would have been our house.
We
Yeah.
did.
But it's true. It was not fun to figure out, but after doing it just several months, we had more money than we realized when we finally told it where to go. And so just keeping that budget like every single month. And now it's like, I'm the nerd of it. So I do the budget, and it's a couple times he's like, can you add this in the budget? But it's like a 5-minute thing now.
I love that. That's how it goes.
Yep.
The budget reveals all.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
it
very,
does.
very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not actually doing the budget that's hard. It's all the stuff it reveals
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you first
Exactly.
start. It's
Yeah.
like, God, I'm stupid. God, you're stupid. We are stupid. It just wears you out, man.
Yes.
It's like a horrible, very clear mirror.
It is a mirror. Yep.
Yeah. And then you feel like you got a raise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
really do.
Yeah. Way to go, guys. Way to go. Very proud of you. How's it feel to be free?
Weird.
Yeah, it's awesome.
but-
We were talking to someone earlier, and we were saying how the month after we paid off our debt, we looked and we were just like, oh, we don't have to give this money to anyone. Like, it's our money to now start putting into baby step 3 and start saving. It's no one else's money, so it's weird. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It does. It's a little bit surreal
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah.
It's like you
Exactly.
come to the other side of it and you're like, I feel like there's something I'm missing.
Yeah.
Feel lighter.
And I will say, because it was 4.5 years, it felt like such a long time. Like, you hear people getting out of debt in like 18 months and 2 years. And like, just with our incomes at the time, our incomes didn't grow to what they are now till about 1.5 to 2 years ago, which really was kind of the driving force to
Then
finish
it
it.
accelerated, yeah.
Exactly. But like, in the middle is when it was the hardest. So at the beginning, you're like excited. In the middle, you're like, should I keep going?
Yeah.
This is so
Yeah.
hard. And then at the end, it's exciting again because you're almost there. So
yeah.
for people that are in that middle, like, just keep going because it's so worth it and you will get there.
Yeah.
It is possible.
That's a good point, because you got enthusiasm when you first start. I'm going to get this, and then you get in the middle, it's a slog. And then when you get to where you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, that's not an oncoming train, now we can
Right.
sprint to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. exactly.
That's a good analogy.
Well, and I
done.
think we did a good job of, some months it was harder for her, and I would be there to encourage and no, it's worth it. Let's get this done, and vice versa. There were times where I'd want to. You're in that slog, and you're like, what if we don't do it for a couple months and we go do this instead, and we're able to keep one another in check and work together on it.
Well,
so.
we had like a chain countdown he made. The chains that
Yeah,
connect.
yeah.
He put that in our kitchen.
Perfect.
And I like kitchen
that.
is like my place, and I was like, it's so ugly. He was like, well, the debt is terrible.
I picked the worst colors. I picked the worst colors.
Let's bring the kids up and introduce them right quick before we run out of time.
Sure.
I want to make sure. What are their names and ages?
Rita's 7 and Luke is 5.
Very
Right.
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we're real proud of you guys. We got the Live and Give box for you with the Baby Steps Millionaires book, Total Money Makeover book, another Financial Peace University membership for you to give away. Congratulations, heroes. Well done.
Thank you.
Very well done. Christian and Christine from Lynchburg, Virginia, $157,000 paid off in 4.5 years, making 83 to 138. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
I guess 3, 2, 1. We're debt free.
Yeah! Wow! Woo-hoo! That's how it's done. Yeah! This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. This is the Ramsey Show. Hey, if you're new to us, and a bunch of you are because our ratings and our listenership numbers are going way up quickly, thank you for that. If you're new to us and you're just trying to figure out what all this baby step stuff means and where do you fit in and it's all this debt snowball stuff, go to RamseySolutions.com, click on the Get Started button. It's completely free. We're not going to charge you anything. And you can figure out where you are now and what your next step is, and we'll start explaining it all to you and customize it for you. So again, RamseySolutions.com, click on Get Started. Christian is with us in Greensboro, North Carolina. Hi, Christian. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Yes. So I was calling because I had a question. I have $6 million worth of property here in the area, and I owe almost $3 million, about $2.8 million in loans. My question was, do you think it's wise to sell some of my portfolio to pay off the loans and be debt-free, or should I utilize the monthly cash flow to pay off the loans fast? What do you think?
Well, congratulations. You've done a good job. You got a good equity position, and you've obviously got a going concern. And there's a lot of different ways to attack the situation where you are. You can keep doing more of what you've been doing. Here's what I learned when I was 24 years old, I had $4 million worth of real estate, and I owed $3 million on it. So I did not have as good an equity position as you do. Okay, I was about 75% loan to value. You're about 50%. All right, but I ended up losing everything because the bank got sold to another bank, called our notes. We had a lot of flip notes out, 90-day notes, and it caught me and took me out. And what I learned from that going broke process in my 20s 30 years ago was that those of us that love real estate, people like you and me, Christian, sometimes we forget to measure risk. Common sense tells you, and actual business analysis tells you, that the more debt you have, the more risk you have. Would you agree with that?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. And what I've discovered now over 30 years, not only of teaching these things, but of living a completely debt-free life, and I today own several $100 million worth of real estate. What I've discovered in that process, building that portfolio a different way over this 30 years, is that the lack of risk with having no debt has accelerated over the long haul the amount of real estate I can own because I don't make as many mistakes. I don't have setbacks. I don't have cash flow problems. I've always got cash. Can you imagine how much cash my real estate throws off with no debt? It's obscene. Yeah. Okay. And I can buy another piece of real estate with just cash flow fairly often because we've got tremendous rents coming in on these things. Now, so all that to say, what I have learned from my personal walk and from walking with others is that where I know you will be the best off in 10 years and have the most wealth because of the lowered risk and the increased peace in your life, is if you were debt-free. Now, do we have to burn everything down and do this suddenly because you and I had a conversation? No, I think you have a gradual process and you say, okay, over a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, I'm going to move in that direction because if I were in your shoes, I would rather have $4 million of paid-for real estate than $6 million of real estate with $3 million worth of debt.
Very true.
And that's about where you will be because your real estate will go up in value while we're doing this. All right? So how long have you been doing this? Apparently you've been doing it a while and you're good at it.
Well, I've been doing it since 2012. I actually used my W-2 to help me purchase property, and I was also flipping at the time.
Yeah, okay.
And in 2019, I decided to leave my job because I was able to sustain myself and paying all the bills.
Yeah, and so you're doing flips in addition to this?
Yeah, well, flips are more so like for fun. I do flips maybe 2-3 times a year.
Okay.
Yeah, but
just good pocket money. Okay. Yeah, you can probably live off your flips, and then your other stuff just generates income. That's awesome. Well done. Good for you. Well, here's what I figured out. When I'm doing a flip, I buy something differently if I'm paying cash, and when it is paid for, I am in no rush to sell it. So I never become a motivated seller or a motivated buyer. And I get better deals on the buy, and I sell for higher on the sell because I got all kinds of patience with no payments. But when the payment's eating your back pocket out, it makes you want to jump and get rid of that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I've been following you for quite a while, and I would like to be debt-free at some point. That's why...
Have you got any properties that are higher LTV, that are 80, 90% LTV?
No, like usually when I borrow, it's really, really low.
Well, I mean, you're at about 50% on the portfolio. You don't have any that are higher than that? They're all about 50%?
No, not at all.
Okay, then because that would be the first ones I divest. But since you don't have those, what I would do is just look at the portfolio and go, okay, 10 years from now, which one of these suckers do I want to own? And start going, okay, I'm going to use some cash flow and knock out a few, and I'm going to liquidate, I don't know, a couple $1 million worth or $1 million, $1.5 million worth, or whatever it comes out to be. And, between those two things, have a 2 or a 3 year plan to be free. Because again, you're going to be wealthier and you're going to have a better life if you start with $4 million of paid for real estate 3 years from today.
I'm not arguing with that. I think he got the nice Dave version of that. That was great.
Well, the reason is because he's actually pulling it off.
Yeah.
He's not he could probably survive and 10 years. Now you start doing this nothing down real estate crap on TikTok, you're not going to survive 10 years.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
All the guys that I knew doing that in any generation have gone broke, including me. Mm-hmm. So, but he's sitting in a 50% equity position, so he's going to cash flow. And if he manages the property well, and he's been doing it a decade already.
Yeah.
So that tells me he's really got his crap together. But now we're down to the simple philosophy is you start asking yourself, is this debt-free thing really better? Mm-hmm. And the actual end result of the data is, you end up better. Not just a better feeling.
Right.
You end up with more money.
Well, yeah, you laid that out really clearly. I think that he has a good strategy for him and something that he can start walking towards, which is really cool.
You know, those of you that are playing with real estate or want to play with real estate, let me just tell you something. You will never put in, you will be less likely, never, you can always do something stupid. You will be less likely to put a bum tenant in a property when you don't have any payments. But when you got payments, you're looking for somebody to pay those payments with their rent.
It's a very good
and
point.
you're more desperate as a landlord to fill your vacancies, and you're more likely to go, well, I know, I kind of had a bad feeling. Turns out she was doing drugs. Who knew?
Wow.
But, I mean, whatever it is, right? And you put a tenant in there that's a bum, and then you've got a mess. They tear up the place. You still go through 6 months with no income. You go through an eviction. You go through all this stuff, bankruptcies on them, everything else. It's a mess. But you won't overlook that if you're going, I don't think, unless you really make me feel good, that I'm going to let you have the privilege of living in my property because I don't have any problems now, and I don't need you to bring your problems to me.
That's such a good point.
Yeah, so desperate landlords make stupid decisions like desperate people of any kind.
And it ends up costing them more.
Yeah. And yeah, you get bit. You get really bit. And I've done both. I've been both. It's been a long, long time since I've put in a weak tenant because I had to, because I haven't been there in decades now. And so I'm just really encouraging folks. There's a way to do this real estate thing where it turns out really nice, and there's a way to do it where you go broke. So, and Christian's in the middle. This is a good question. This is the Ramsey Show.
What's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Natalie is in Fresno starting off this hour. Hi, Natalie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, so my husband and I just started listening to you. I needed something to listen to while I was doing cardio, and I found your show. And I told him he needed to start listening. And so we just decided to crunch the numbers. And I guess what we had been doing was ignoring kind of what the debt was, because when we added it all up, now it seems awfully overwhelming. And I don't know. I just found out I'm going to lose my job. My company sold, and they're getting rid of all of their remote workers. And I'm at home with our 4 children, and I homeschool them, and so I don't have the ability to just go get another job. So it was kind of adding fuel to the fire, and we're not sure where to go from here or how to tackle this mountain that we've created.
How much debt is it?
We currently owe $80,881.
Hey, I want you to take a deep breath, because I can hear in your voice that you feel overwhelmed, you feel worried, you feel stressed, you don't know if there's a way out of this. I can hear it. You sound like actually you're on the verge of tears, which I've been there. That feeling of just kind of sweeping it under the rug and not looking at it. And I know for my husband and I, we just kept putting it on forbearance and putting it on. And then when you come back to it, it's like, oh my gosh, how did it get this much?
You've officially had an oh crap moment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of debt is the 80?
So the majority of it is in a home equity loan. That makes up about half of it. We also have a solar loan. And actually very little of it is in credit card debt. There's also another small loan, but all of those are
No car debt?
like the credit card debt. We have a small loan on a car, yes.
Okay. What's your husband make?
He makes $83,000.
What do you make?
I was bringing home about between $800 to $1,000 a month, so it wasn't astronomical, but it was just kind of something that we weren't expecting to lose my income, in the midst of like, hey, we should get out of debt. And now it just seems almost impossible.
Yeah, we're finding the work-from-home workers are the first to get laid off.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, you also said you're homeschooling, right?
Yes.
So I just wanted to check, are you homeschooling by default because you got laid off and you thought, okay, well, now I'll just do this? Or was that originally the plan?
Yeah, no, I've been homeschooling my kids from the start. I have 6th grade, 4th grade, and 2nd grade currently, and our youngest is just 1.
How much is your house payment?
It's $1,481.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, Natalie, I'm with Jade here. Yes, I can hear that you've had this thing, and I can hear the emotion that comes with an oh crap moment. But I can also tell you, if you guys are willing to go bananas, I mean, go crazy, where your broke friends are making fun of you type of stuff for about 3 years, we can get you 100% out of this. I can show you how. You can do this.
Mm-hmm. But you're going to have to get real different. You're going to be living on half of what you make now.
Yeah, you're going to be cranking. Yeah, and you're going to go pick up some side gigs that you do from home. There's stuff out there you can do for $1,000. I thought you were making 50 or 60 grand work from home or something, the way you were talking. But
no.
Yeah, you can go pick up some side stuff and just something else to work from home. He can look at picking up OT or something else. You all can look at what you can sell, and then you're going to be on a scorched earth, nothing budget. You have enough clothes. You don't need to buy any more. Budget.
Yeah.
You're not going out to eat. You're broke people. Broke people shouldn't go out to eat. You're not going on vacation. You're broke people. Broke people shouldn't go on vacation. You're going to clean up the mess so you're not broke people anymore, because it's no freaking fun to be where you are right now. Agreed?
Yeah, and we just got done with a no-spend month. My husband had a mission trip planned this month, so he kept that because it was already paid for before we started this. But we've been trying to just cinch wherever we can, and our kids are feeling.
Well, your whole life for the next 3 years is going to be a no spend month. You're about to have 3 no spend years, and that's baby step 2. And I just have to add this to it. You've had your oh crap moment of like, this sucks, I don't want to live like this, but you got to go now to the next step of what's the greater why, and you need to start envisioning what your life is going to be like if you do the things that we're telling you to do.
Yeah, what would it be like to have no payments?
Because if you don't connect a greater why to this, I tell people all the time, the stronger the why, the stronger the try. So if you have a very strong why, you are going to do your best. You're going to work your hardest, and you're going to stay motivated through that 3 years, those 3 no spend years, so that you can achieve that vision that you have in your head.
Yeah, so you and your husband are going to sit down and you're going to do a detailed written budget every month where every dollar has an assignment. It's called Every Dollar. It's the world's best budgeting app. We're going to give it to you. We're also going to give you Financial Peace University, our 9-week class that has helped 10 million people do what you're getting ready to do. And the two of you and your husband are going to sit down and look at this, and you're going to start to dream again, and you're going to lay it out, and you're going to cut everything even further than you thought you did when you did no spend. I mean, and then you're going to do anything you can do to get your incomes up that's legal and moral. We are going to go bananas. And for 3 years, if you'll commit 3 years to live like no one else, later you're going to be able to live and give like no one else. You won't ever have to save up for a missions trip again. You can just go.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Thank you, guys.
Well,
you can do this. You can do this, Natalie. It's hard today, but each step that you take, you're getting closer to a life that has financial ease. Right now, you're in the angst moment.
If I give you this Financial Peace University, can you get your husband to sit down and watch his first lesson with you?
Oh yeah, he's all on board
Okay,
when
good.
he started.
Good. And then download the Every Dollar app as soon as you get off the phone, and it goes right in there with it. We're going to give you the advanced version so you can use the Every Dollar app that's tied to your bank, and it's going to be really, really easy to do to keep up with the budget and to start it. But the thing that's going to be hard is you guys are going to dramatically change your lifestyle because you're now going to tell your money what to do instead of wondering where it went, because you've been living like Congress for too long. And you got to break the cycle, and it's painful to break the cycle, but it is worth the price because you're going to be free. You're going to be free. What would it be like to have no payments? I promise you this will work. Hold on, Austin will pick up. We'll get you signed up for it.
Y'all, there's a lot you can't control when it comes to healthcare, but there is something you should check out that can help. Christian Healthcare Ministries. CHM is not insurance. It is budget-friendly, biblically based health cost sharing. That means a community of members helping share the burden of each other's healthcare costs. They help people just like you in all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Learn more today at chministries.org/budget.
Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. We're so glad you are here. Austin is in Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Austin, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Sure. What's up?
Hey, me and my wife, we bought a home in 2020. It's not our forever home, but it gets the job done. When we get to baby step 6, should we continue to focus on paying down the home or build a nest egg to assist with our forever home we plan on building in about 5 to 8 years from now?
I mean, if I were you, Austin, I would continue paying down. I mean, well, let me find out. Where are you in the baby steps?
She says 6.
5
and 6.
Okay, I missed that.
Baby step 4, 5, and 6, you said, right?
Yeah, so we're on step 2 right now, but we're looking to have all that done within the next 8 to 10 months.
Yeah.
I'm doing long-term planning.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay. Let me help you with this. There's no such thing as a forever home except heaven.
Forever home is just an excuse for people to spend more and do the most.
Yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want to do buying a home, and you're still going to move again. I mean, there's if you build it at 68 years old, it might be your forever home. But other than that, your life's going to change and you're going to move again. So that's a concept that's just completely bogus. So anyway, aside from that, just pay off your house. Because here's the deal. If you're going to sell the house and move up in house, which is really what you're saying, that's fine. I got no issue with that at all. But when you sell your current home and it's paid off, they're going to give you a check for the whole thing. Mm-hmm. It's not like you're spending the money. It's not gone. You're just paying off the mortgage. It's still there in equity. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so pay it off. And then that gives you more options, and then sell it, and they're going to give you a check at the closing. Use that check to buy the next house that's the upgrade home.
Right, because here's the other part of that. People put a nest egg aside, and they think, I'm just going to sit on top of this money for when the right time comes. And then before you know it, Uncle Boo Boo, he's having a...
Uncle who?
Uncle Boo Boo is in everybody's life. That's when the wedding in the Caribbean comes.
Uncle Boo Boo.
Wedding in the Caribbean comes. Uncle Boo Boo.
Uncle Bubba.
Uncle Boo Boo has a real estate project he wants you to invest in. Uncle Boo Boo tells you to buy cryptocurrency. Everybody has one, Dave.
Man, this guy's evil.
He is.
He's got a horrible name, too.
But everybody's got one. Everybody's got one. And he's the one that steals from that nest egg that you say, oh, I'm going to save this for my forever home.
Yeah.
Something always pops up. So when you Go ahead and pay off your mortgage.
You find bass boats are on sale, and
yes.
then it's gone. Yeah.
See, that's Uncle Boo Boo.
Uncle Boo Boo buys bass boats too.
He tells you to go buy it.
This guy gets around. He's like the boogeyman of finance. I love it. Uncle Boo Boo. Who knew?
Yeah.
Another jadeism.
It's a jadeism.
Another jadeism.
It is.
All right. Malachi's with us in Princeton, Kentucky. Hey, Malachi, what's up?
Yes. Thank you for having me on your show, Dave.
Sure. How can we help?
My question about it is I finished baby step 1. Now I'm on baby step 2. I'm actually moving away. I'm going back to my hometown. And my ex-wife, I co-signed with on her student loans and on her car. The student loans are $7,621. They have offered me, that's gone to collection. They've offered me a $5,000 payoff. And if I were to do that first instead of taking care of my smaller loans, which I know that you say, you pay your smallest loans off and you move on to the next and the next and the next. But would you...
You have $5,000? Do you have $5,000?
Say again?
You have $5,000?
I do not.
Where are you going to get it?
You're going to have to pay it all at once.
Okay, because
the offer is not payments.
If I were to get that off,
you don't have $5,000.
Yeah.
These deals only work, and they're usually for a limited time.
For a lump sum.
Yeah, because whenever I'm moving, I'm looking for my full-time job right now. But I've already got my part-time job lined up. I'm in the National Guard. I've been in there since 2018.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pulling 3 jobs, getting my kids every weekend because I'm paying $1,200 a month in child support.
Mm-hmm.
And I took your class in high school. I had $10,000. I had an 830 credit score. And
so you must have not learned anything in my class. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I had, I got with a girl and I got her pregnant, and now I have 3 kids, and now we're divorced. I've actually been separated since July. It got finalized in February.
I'm sorry.
I got this new place in November,
mm-hmm.
and I've had to ask for money from family members and stuff like that because all this debt that we had racked up for the life that she had wanted.
Okay, in the divorce decree, was she supposed to pay the car and her student loan?
Actually, my lawyers and her negotiated because it was so much for the student loans. I'm responsible for half.
For half of the $7,000.
And her car would be refinanced after that got out of collection into her name completely.
And that would get the car out of your name. Okay.
Yes.
So yes, you do need to pay the student loan, and yes, you do need to negotiate a lump sum when you have a lump sum. But right now, Malachi, you don't have any money.
Yeah, because I'm moving back into my parents' home.
Yeah. So right now, what you're going to do is you're going to get on a detailed budget. You're going to live on nothing. You're not going to go out at night at all. You're going to work all the time. And you're going to start paying these debts off. And when you can get enough debt paid off that you pay off the little ones, and that'll get you more cash flow because you're paying payments on all this crap except her loan. You're not paying on her loan.
Actually, I am, sir.
I thought you said it was in delinquency.
It is. Here lately, I've been directly sending it to her.
Yeah, so stop.
Don't do that.
Her house.
Yeah, so stop sending her money and stop sending the student loan people money. Tell them where she lives.
Yes, sir.
Tell them to call.
They already know.
Yeah, tell them to call her.
I'm the co-signer.
I know.
They're hounding me.
I know. Just tell them jump in a creek. You're not paying it. I'm broke.
Okay.
I'm broke. I'm divorced and I'm broke. I don't have any money. I'm not paying it. I'll pay it when I've got some money. How much other debt have you got, not counting this mess?
I've gotten down from right now as of today, I have $410 in one, or $410 in one credit card.
Yeah.
$239 in another.
Yeah.
The car that I originally bought for her that I got throughout the divorce is $13,354.
Mm-hmm. So $20,000 makes you debt free. I want you to go make $20,000 in the next 6 months extra and be 100% debt-free.
And cut up the credit cards.
You cut up your credit cards, your car, her student loans, everything. Completely debt-free.
Yeah,
and I want you to work like a maniac. Right now, this is all happening to you, and I'm trying to get you to happen to it. There is not a technique that fixes this except money, and you get money from working more.
Yes, sir, and that's what I'm doing.
Good.
I'm actually.
You're about to start, but you don't have any money right now, and you don't even have a job right now.
Yes, sir. I've been on contact with phones. I've already got one part-time job.
There you go.
That I'm going to be doing after my full-time job.
Good.
I'm doing the National Guard, and I just got done with an interview today.
As soon as all this money starts coming in, pay off those little credit cards, and then save up $5,000 and call the student loan people and offer them $5,000 lump sum. Until then, don't give them any money.
That offer is going to continue to be good.
Yeah,
because it's in collections now.
Just call them up and go, I can give you $5,000 now. If it's 2 months from now, they'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then that clears that. Then all you got left after that's your car. And then I want you to pay that off in about 3 months. And really, you should be debt-free in 6 months. You're living at your parents' house. You got no overhead. It only takes $20,000 to pay off everything. But all this crap has been happening to you. Divorce, kids, job loss, people calling you and hounding you. Everything's happening to you. And it's time for you to stand up and happen to it and start telling this money and these people what to do instead of doing what they say to do. It's time for you to bust this thing in the nose. And you're about ready to do it. I can hear it. But I'm telling you, this is how you get after it. Get it. Get it. Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Brian and Elizabeth are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Hey, Jade.
Welcome, welcome. Where do you guys live?
Littleton, Colorado.
Oh, the Denver area, huh? Cool. Good to have you guys. And how much debt have you paid off?
$244,000.
Wow.
Wow. How long did this take?
56 months.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
We started out at $156,000 and we ended at $225,000.
Excellent. What do you guys do for a living?
I'm the executive director of a nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
I manage a memory care facility.
Ah, very good, guys. Very cool. Good for y'all. So what kind of debt is this $244,000?
It was a little under $20,000 was student loans, and the rest of it was our mortgage.
Yay! Weird people!
Totally weird.
No mortgage.
Yeah.
Way to go, you two. What's this house worth?
It's about $745,000, Dave.
Wow.
I love it. And how much you guys got in your retirement accounts?
Right at about $520 right now.
All right, baby steps millionaires also. Wow. How old are you millionaires?
I am 46 and Elizabeth is 43.
Wow.
Hey, not even 50 years old. Wow.
That's exciting.
Ding, ding. Excellent job.
We wanted to pay off the house before I was 50 was my goal. We blew that out of the water.
Sure did.
Yeah, just blew it a big time. Yeah. All right, tell us this story. What got you guys started on this Ramsey stuff?
Well, I do a lot of driving for my job, and I was driving south of the Denver area and found you on good old-fashioned radio. I think it was God's hand because I lost the Denver radio station and picked up some Colorado Springs radio station, and heard some guy talking about these baby steps, and I'm thinking, what is he trying to sell me? And
Good old KRDO of Colorado Springs.
You got it, Dave.
Wow.
That's the one. That's the one. And so I love nerding out to this stuff. I always thought I was good with money, and I knew what I was doing, and these baby steps weren't jiving with stuff that we were doing. And so the more I listened, I heard you mention Financial Peace University, and I saw that advertised at our church. And so I connected the dots. I said, okay, this is what that's all about. So I came home and I asked Elizabeth, I said, would you take this class with me the next time it's advertised at our church? And she was initially a bit hesitant.
Yeah, the word budget to me meant restriction at that time.
Yeah.
So I was a little hesitant.
Yeah.
The sell point for us, though, was the fact that we weren't getting any traction. We both had really good jobs. We had good income. We were playing these financial gymnastics at the end of every month. We were pulling from our savings to cover our expenses for the month, and then promising ourselves the next month that we would replenish our savings account. And
You're Americans.
We totally Americans. Yeah. So that got us into the class, and we started taking the class, Dave. And unlike a lot of people, we just went all in. I mean, both feet. We just jumped into the pool. We didn't dip our toes in. We found ourselves.
But Elizabeth, you kind of came in a little bit like, I don't want to do a budget. Don't tell me I can't do stuff. And then how long did it take before you were like all in?
I want to say it was probably the third class because that's when we wrote the check. So
yeah.
Wow.
So
check for
all of our debt, that student loan debt that we had.
Paid it all off.
Yeah, we had a little nest egg built up.
So you had enough to just knock out your debt in baby step 2.
That's right. So we had our $1,000 set aside, and then it took everything else that we had saved up to go into baby step 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was week 2, week 3, and we got it all taken care of.
Wow.
Was that scary to do, Elizabeth?
Oh my gosh, we felt so vulnerable. Like a lot of people go gazelle intense and do their debt snowball on 2. We were in this place where we had nothing to fall back on. So ours really kicked into 3. We did the math on how long it would take us to get 3 to 6 months of expenses, and we weren't comfortable living in that space. Yeah. So we went full bore. We went crazy. I started slinging packages for Amazon. She started picking up work doing dog sitting. I was flipping lawnmowers. I was getting free off of Craigslist.
I like that one. That's
good. People just give away free stuff, and we're flipping. And we were just going nuts.
That is
how
so
quick
good.
did you build your baby step 3?
Yeah, so it took us the majority of that time that I was working for Amazon, about 11 months. That got us through 2018, and 2019 rolled around. We found ourselves in baby step 4, 5, and 6, and life hit us up the side of the head real hard. We were doing good, and we are so thankful for FPU and your lesson on insurance and knowing that there's this defense that you need to go along with the offense. And I'm so grateful for that message. Elizabeth did all the work. She made all the phone calls. We found out that we were underinsured in a lot of areas. We got ourselves an umbrella policy. We had a new 16-year-old driver in our household. We've got 5 kids, 3 living at home right now, and woefully underinsured with liability. So we got all that stuff put in place, and we're so grateful.
And about a couple months after we got the defense set up, it would be put to the test. We ended up, my son had a tragic accident that took the life of an individual and severely injured another one. Wow. So we had to not only navigate trauma, stress, and of course mental health, but we also had to navigate legal matters. But one thing that we did not have to navigate was our finances. Yeah. Because we had the setup for the defense. We finalized our last lawsuit last year. Wow. And we were set up for financial success. We stayed in the program.
When the accident happened, how old was your son?
16.
And so he's like 18 or 19 now?
He's 20.
Just turned 20.
Okay. How's he doing?
He's okay now. He's still in mental health.
Yeah. That's a process to go through.
It is a process.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible. The other family had the loss, obviously, but people don't realize that
the toll
you got a 16-year-old kid that's got to absorb this. and work through it. That's traumatic.
So we're navigating all that, but Dave, we didn't have to worry about money. That's the one saving grace that we had, and it was really just looking back, this is all God's hand, right? Just
Amen.
guiding us to all this, finding your radio station,
Amen.
getting this stuff in place, and
not exactly random that you land on the radio station.
No, not exactly random at all. Wow. And so we restarted our 401ks after that point, baby step 4, because we had stopped those to get our emergency fund built up. We started 529s. We were late to the game, but still were able to get enough in there. All of our kids have at least their first full year of college going in state paid for to kickstart them, and every last dime went to the house. We just stayed gazelle intense. We're freezer burnt food out of our freezer. I mean, we're wiping off dust off the cans in our pantry.
Oh, that's weird.
To eat, all that stuff.
Been there.
So, yeah.
That is something. Man, so what's next for you guys? You've got a paid off home mortgage. You've done everything that you can do. What's your live and give moment?
Well, I can tell you that we drank the Kool-Aid of Dave Ramsey, and we're wrapping up our 10th course that we have taught.
Thank you.
Wow.
FBU. So,
Thank you.
Yes.
Wow.
That's something.
And we are going to Ireland
Yay!
in April.
I love it.
Which cities do you know?
Yes, we're starting off in Dublin. We're going to do a 10-day tour. We're going to go to South Killarney, and then we're going to end up in South Ireland. So
yes.
Okay. Very cool. Beautiful. It is a beautiful trip.
Have a
You'll
Guinness
have a good
for me.
time. Yeah.
Yes, we will.
You got to pour the perfect pint when you're in Dublin for sure. But yeah, way to go, you guys.
Yeah.
Very good. Good. I'm so happy for you.
Me
Thank
too.
you. Yeah,
Sorry for what you've been through, and I'm really happy that that God's timing set you up to walk through that.
Amen.
Yeah, very, very cool. Well done, heroes! Whoop, 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 whoop. Ireland, I like it.
Yes, I like it. That's going to be a great trip.
Good stuff. All right, we've got the Live and Give bundle for you guys. It'll all be give for you because it's the Baby Steps Millionaire's #1 best-selling book. You already are, so you can show someone else how to do it. Same with the Total Money Makeover, and the same with the Financial Peace University membership. So you'll have good use to be able to pay that forward on all of those. We're honored to have you with us here today. So proud of you.
Thank you. Very proud.
Well done. What a great story and a great process that you guys plugged into. Very, very cool. Brian and Elizabeth, Denver, Littleton, Colorado. They paid off $244,000. House and everything. Baby Steps Millionaires, weirdos. 56 months, making $156 to $225. Off to Ireland. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free!
Yeah! Love it, love it, love it. Well done. Wow. This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Well, there's a lot of questions about taxes right now. It's tax time, and we all hate it. I stay perpetually angry during this time. And so let's unpack a question from one of our listeners. Dave, we have a cabin we inherited years ago. We're thinking about selling it. Since we're older, it's getting harder to keep up. Is there any way to get around capital gains taxes? Well, for this scenario, there's 3 ways to help reduce capital gains tax. Sell the cabin as soon as possible. The longer you wait, obviously it's going to go up, more tax you're going to owe. You can move into the cabin, make it your primary residence for at least 2 years. You will lose the primary residence exemption on your personal home, though. I wouldn't do that. Or you can rent out the cabin And when you do eventually sell it, you can defer the capital gains by doing a 1031 from one rental property into another. But you'd have to have at least 1 year that the primary use of the cabin was a rental. And so if you rented it for a year, then you could do a 1031 and roll the, which is a tax-deferred exchange, it's called, and you roll the gain into the next deal if you wanted to do all of that. Other than that, you're going to pay capital gains. Here's what's interesting. It may not be that much. The value of the cabin when you inherited it is your basis. And so go back in the year you got it, what was it worth? That's what everything above that will be your capital gain, of course, minus expenses. And so if the cabin was worth $150,000 when you got it, now it's worth $220,000, and it costs $20,000 to sell it in expenses. You'd have a $200,000 net minus a $150 basis would only be a $50,000 gain. At 15%, it's only $3,000 in taxes. So you're probably, depending on how it all works out, I don't know the value when you got it or the value today. But I honestly wouldn't go through any of that other crap. I would just...
It looks like a lot of hoops to jump through to get $3,000 back.
If that's what it is. If it is the $3,000 actual taxes. Yeah. And but sometimes we hear, you're going to get capital gains tax, and we start doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And then if you ever write it all out and figure out it was $14. I was getting ready to be stupid for $14 because we get all this emotion because we hate taxes so bad.
Yeah.
I hate taxes. The only thing I hate worse than taxes is financial stupidity. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I have seen people do financial stupidity to avoid taxes. And that's what you don't want to do. So I would actually calculate out what your gain's going to be after expenses versus what you paid for or what the property was worth when you inherited it, and then figure out what your taxes are, and then that'll tell you the direction to go. Jennifer is in New York City. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, Dave and Jade. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
So my husband and I, we have no debt except for 2 income property mortgages. Our primary residence is paid off entirely. The total mortgage debt combined on the income property is approximately $580,000. One of the remaining mortgages is $218,000. The other is $366,000. So we're thinking of unloading the one with the $366,000 balance, using it to pay off the $218,000 balance. So the reason that this is a question is because they're both very profitable properties. Each property earns a net income of about $50,000 each annually. So about $100,000 combined, a little over.
What's your household income?
Household income is $250,000. So with the rental properties, we net about $350,000, a little bit over.
So how quick can you pay off $550 if you keep them both?
So with Gazelle Intensity, we project to have them both paid off within 3 to 4 years.
I'd keep them.
The idea of having the rentals paid off for in a few years is definitely appealing.
I'd keep them.
It's also appealing, though, to have your head hit the pillow debt-free sooner rather than later. But wondering your take on giving up, such a cash-generating asset, because it's essentially like
there's no wrong answer here. There's no in neither case is your face going to appear in the stupid column. Okay. So if you want to sell one and be debt-free, head hit the pillow tonight, that's the right answer. If you want to pay them off over 3 or 4 years, that's the right answer. The wrong answer would be one you didn't mention, which is, I think being in debt for rental properties is wonderful, and I'm going to stay in debt my whole life.
Right.
That one's not on the table. And so for you or for me or for Jade,
it sounds like you like both the properties. If you were saying that the property that's $366,000, you hated it and it was getting on your nerves and things like that, then yeah, maybe sell it and take it to pay off property number one. But you said they both generate great cash. And I like what Dave said. I mean, you can pay both of these off with your cash flow, and then you're going to have 3 properties that you own completely full out, including your personal residence. That's amazing.
If life changes, sell one of them.
True that.
I mean, you can change this decision. I personally, if I woke up...
Dark hotel ballroom moment.
Do what now?
we thought maybe, the mortgage debt is like our dark hotel ballroom moment, how you talk about in your book, that we were kind of brainwashed into thinking,
Well, if you were brainwashed, if you decide you wanted to keep it around like it was a pet, and so
Right.
we're just discussing whether it's reasonably wise to get rid of it in 3 or 4 years or instantaneously. Neither answer is wrong.
How old are you?
We're 38 years old, both of us.
Yeah, man.
And we have a really, really strict budget. And, we have about $30,000 saved for a rainy day, and we both put 15% into the 401k. So we've got about 300. I have 360,000 in mine. My husband has about 300 in his, so 600 and almost about 650 combined.
There's not a wrong answer, but it sounds like there's not a wrong answer between the two that we are talking about, but it sounds like it's bothering you a little bit to keep it around. And if that's the case,
is it bothering you, or are you just afraid you're being stupid?
Afraid I'm being stupid.
Yeah, you're not. You're not. Okay.
We would tell you if you were.
Yeah.
In very clear
if you call
terms.
me up and said I want to go into debt to buy rental property, of course we would tell you no. But you're here.
Okay.
You can clean all of this up. You're millionaires. You're 38 years old. You're goal-oriented people. You're very intentional with your decisions and your decision-making paradigms. And I don't hear anything in here that sounds anything close to stupid. That's what I mean by your face is not in the stupid column. So unless I hear something different, in talking with you for another 20 minutes or something, I would tell you to keep them and pay them off in 3 to 4 years. Make sense?
Makes sense to me.
But if you want to do the other, that's okay too. Mm-hmm. That's okay too. But you're not stupid for paying them off in 3 to 4 years. You would be stupid to say, I'm going to keep the debt around forever. And then you could open up a Tic Tac account. All right, Julia. Wow. See, here's the thing. This is so funny to me. The old Ecclesiastes, the word says, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
And I'm getting old enough to where, God, man, bell bottoms are back.
I own a pair.
And so is nothing down real estate.
Uh-oh.
I mean, everything comes back around.
You mean these guys didn't make that up?
I think Beanie Babies are coming back. I mean, everything seems to come back around. Nothing down real estate, since I've been on the air in 32 years now, has gone through 3 major cycles. The cycle right before I went on the air that I went broke in, I lost my tail in nothing down real estate. Then there was another big one with the cable TV, midnight cable, infomercials, sitting by the waves, selling you a cassette tape set on how to get rich in real estate. Dave Delgado, who now makes actually really good wine in Napa. And he's got a wine called The Beast that's incredible. But he made all his money selling tape sets by the waves. Mm-hmm. And now the Tic Tac generation's just running it crazy, and they're little slime balls running around all over Tic Tac trying to get you to go into up to your eyeballs in debt, because all real estate's good debt. I mean, Dave Ramsey doesn't know what he's saying. All this crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way it works, y'all. The way it works, it goes in cycles. Even stupidity goes in cycles. But
that's true.
Jennifer is not on that list.
No, she's not. Not on the stupid list.
This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Matt starts this hour in Orlando. Hi, Matt. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Jay. Thank you guys so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
So I just wanted to kind of see what you guys thought could be my steps and my process here. I took a different job in August of last year. Both the job before and the job now have been commission-based, and I was supposed to make around the same amount of commission, but unfortunately I'm making about half.
Why?
And so I do like trades work. So basically, I go around quoting jobs and getting them sold. And if I'm being really honest, I think it might be the marketing side. We're not getting the amount of calls in that we should be. So I'm just not making as many sales as I used to.
What is it you're selling?
Electrical work, panel replacements, rewires, that type of stuff for residential homes.
Well, construction stopped.
No construction stopped. It's just that we do primarily residential service calls. So I don't know,
okay. Were you with homeowners?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Okay. For electrical problems on a home, you go to their house. Is that what you were selling before?
Yes. Okay. And it was just a different company. The company I was at before.
Do you know anybody selling stuff at your old company?
Yes.
Are they
still making? They seem to be struggling as well.
They've been struggling as well. So it's not the company. Yeah. It's the marketplace.
Yeah, probably.
It's not marketing then. If your old company is not making what they used to make, and you're not making what you used to make in the new company, it sounds like, and you're in the same field, it sounds like the marketplace has slowed down with the economy slowing and inflation and people watching every dollar and all that kind of stuff.
I actually 100% agree with you.
Okay.
But there's like a wide variety of other issues, but I'm not going to, get into details on that. But yes, marketplace has definitely slowed down.
Is this job what you wanted to be doing long term?
Yeah, actually, yes. I love it. This is my career. Just being in the electrical field in general. I love doing electrical work for sure.
Well, in the meantime, is it possible for you to pick up some other work in order to kind of close that gap income-wise?
The biggest issue with that is, we work under a license, so I wouldn't be able to do work on the side without a license.
Not electrical work, but you could drive Uber.
Else. Yeah.
Yes. So actually, I do pick up that work. My schedule is a little bit varied. I wanted to get like a consistent, after hours job, but my schedule is so inconsistent. I'm out maybe 12, 13 hours a day sometimes.
What are you making?
On average, take home a month is around $4,000 to $5,000 a month.
And you were making double that before?
Close.
Wow. Okay.
Probably about 30%.
Okay. So here's the thing. My friend Henry Cloud wrote a book called Necessary Endings. And he says you need to end a relationship, a process, a job, when you lose hope that there's any chance it's going to get better. Okay? And so if I'm in your shoes, I've got to decide how long am I willing to wait for this to turn before I need to call it a day and switch careers. And I don't know how long that is. How long do you want to give it before, at this rate versus the double rate that you were making before you're willing to do this? How long are you willing to ride this storm out to stay in this field? Let me help you. It's not 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not 3 years. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be sitting in the same soup 3 years from today.
Correct.
So just keep, is it 1 year? Is it 9 months? Is it the fall? If it didn't fall, but if we hadn't turned it by fall, we're going to go look for something. Or is it 1 year this time next year? If it's not, I'm going to hold my breath, hold my nose, and fight through and work the extra job, the weird jobs on the side, just so I can stay in this field, hoping it's going to turn back. Yeah. But at the point that I lose hope that it's going to turn back, I'm out of here. And you need to set yourself a date certain, because that will relieve a lot of your anxiety. The uncertainty of this could go on forever runs down your spine and rests in your lower back.
And, I got to believe that there's other job opportunities that use a similar skill set, that use some of the same, things that you know how to do and enjoy doing. So you might want to start researching that. But the screen says that you're behind on your debts. How much debt do you have?
I am, without the mortgage, about $75,000 in debt.
All right. So that's letting us know what Dave was just talking about, your necessary ending. That's got to come sooner than later, because if you were sitting here debt free and you just called in and said, hey, my job just, my income just got cut in half, what should I do? You would have, you could extend that time period, but you've got a lot on the line here with $75,000.
What do you owe the 75 on?
A lot of dumb stuff, super tax, as you call it.
Yeah, what is it?
Credit cards that are maxed out. It's from primarily just transition, just trying to keep everything afloat. And then
how much your car payment? How much your car debt?
Credit card.
No,
well, my car debt. I have one car, and it's about $5,000. $4,000.
All right.
So your car is not your problem. Okay.
No.
So what is most of this debt?
Credit cards.
Credit cards, and we did some dumb stuff with some Affirm stuff.
Okay.
And that,
but you're done with that now, right?
No, that ends in August.
No. I'm saying you're done using Affirm.
You're never clicking on easy payments again.
100%.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not.
Let me affirm you that was stupid.
We're trying to work on the baby steps right now.
Let me affirm you that Affirm is stupid. Yeah.
Here's what I want to say to you. You're going through something tough, but I'm hearing a lot of excuses. I'm hearing a lot of but and well. See, the thing is, and I need you to understand that right now you got to make a change. Right now you got to change it. There are a lot of times where there's reasons that things are going wrong and things are not going well. But I want to challenge you to cut off that point, because at a point, the reasons start becoming an excuse. And I don't want you to cross over to that excuse zone. So now's your chance to start making those choices, start making those changes. Like I said, research jobs that earn more, that use your same skill set. They're out there. They're there. Check out Ken's book, Paycheck to Purpose. Austin, can you give him that book? That might help him out to find something new for him. But look, this is your moment to change. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to hand you a job. No one's going to come in and pay off this $75,000 of debt, but you.
Yeah, Warren Buffett says when the tide goes out, you can tell who is skinny dipping. So this lowered income has revealed that you were living chaotic and out of control, and now you get the opportunity to fix that. This is The Ramsey Show. Well, our spring live events are kicking up and jam-packed and sold out everywhere, but we're going to tell you where you can come if you can still get a ticket. Building Wealth, we're going to be April the 24th in Salt Lake City, Utah, with Rachel Cruz, George Camel, Christina Ellis, and me. May 2nd, we'll be in Anaheim, California, with Dr. John Deloney, Ken Coleman, Christina Ellis, and me. Jade was at the first two that we did. And we've also brought back Smart Conference, and we kicked it up a notch. This is our first weekend version of Smart Conference. Friday afternoon, we're going to do the Ramsey Show, this show right here live. We do it live on the glass anyway here, but we're going to do it live from the Ramsey Event Center, the brand new Ramsey Event Center from the stage. And we're going to have a huge audience in there to do that. We've got other stuff planned through the afternoon. We've got a neat time with the audience Friday evening, and of course some of our friends from Nashville are going to join us. We're in the music business here, and Some names you'll recognize are going to come hang out with us, and we'll have a little Nashville moment. And then Saturday all day, Jade will be speaking. Dr. John Deloney, Ken Coleman, Rachel Cruz, George Camel, me. We're going to go through everything from mental health to jobs to goal setting to just winning with your money and the details. We're going to go into every part of your life. And this is the inaugural event, the very first event at the new Ramsey Event Center. I was up there today. We're looking at some items we're installing today. It's absolutely, I'm so proud of it. It's absolutely stellar. And we've announced Ken Coleman's career breakthrough events. They're going to be in Kansas City, April 20, Chicago, May 16, Atlanta, May 18, Dallas, Texas, May 23rd. Oh, I forgot. The SMART Conference is April 14 and 15, 1 month from right now.
That's right.
And there's a handful of tickets left is all for that weekend event at Smart Conference. Ken's career breakthrough just went on sale.
That's
We've got
exciting.
the money and marriage event with Deloney and Rachel next fall.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things are at RamseySolutions.com/events. Our events lately have, for the last 12 months or so, have been 100% sellout everywhere we go. And so if you want tickets, you need to get them to all of these things. They're going quickly. They always do. Juliana is with us. She is in Phoenix. Hi, Juliana. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Good. So my husband and I are just wondering if we should approach an HSA account more as savings or more as an investment based on where we are at the baby steps.
Where are you at in the baby steps?
We're 4 and 6. We don't have any kids currently, but we'd like some in the future.
Is the HSA above and beyond the 15% that you're investing into retirement?
Yes. So we're investing 15% in 401ks.
Mm-hmm.
We want to at least get our max out of pocket in the HSA just to cover medical expenses, but we're not sure if we should keep contributing after that.
Yeah. It's not going to matter that much in a given year. It will matter over a period of years. I would keep doing the HSA as long as you're doing it in addition to the 15%. And once you get to a certain point, make sure you get with someone like a company called Health Equity is one we use to flip your HSA money into mutual funds once it gets to be substantial. Because, the way the HSA is going to work is, as you know, the health insurance that's with it is a high deductible, but it's a low max out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And so what ends up happening with the HSA is the HSA works best, the math works best, if you're very healthy or you have chronic health problems, okay? Like I've got a friend that's got Crohn's disease, and so he's constantly hitting his deductible and his max. So the HSA with having the lower max is much better for him because his max out of pocket is less. And in an annual basis. And so even though the deductible's higher, but he's always going to hit his deductible because he's always dealing with some kind of medical something. And on the other hand, you've got Sharon and Dave, which hadn't seen the inside of a hospital. We don't even know what it looks like. We visited some people there once, but that's all. And so, so what happens with us is we never even have a medical expense, much less hit a deductible. And so our HSA, I started doing it when George W. Bush put it into place the first time. I've never touched it. Consequently, it's all in mutual funds and it's several $100,000 because it's been a long time. I don't need it. It's become another investment vehicle. So those are the two extremes, obviously, that can be there. But yes, I would go ahead and do that at this stage. I wouldn't go crazy with overfunding it or something. I'd rather you get your house paid off. But yeah, definitely get it up to where you're covering your deducts and, at least double that. Kick it on up there a little bit. I mean, get $20,000, $30,000 in there. But you don't need $300,000 in there and not have paid off your house on the other side.
That's what I do.
Yep. You're doing that too?
Yep. That's what I'm doing. I like having, some people, you have your 3 to 6 months of emergency funds, but I liked having the deductible in the HSA so that it's just another thing that I don't have to touch.
Now, I would not do that if you're in baby step 2 or 3.
Facts. Yes, that's correct.
If you don't have your emergency fund in place, you don't need to be putting a dime in an HSA.
That's correct. Yep.
You need to build your emergency fund and be debt-free before you put money in an HSA. This is baby steps 4, 5, and 6. So really, really good stuff there. Very well done. All right, our question of the day comes from Neighborly, your hub for home services. This company is incredible. If you need to make repairs or schedule routine maintenance, find local help for home improvement projects, Neighborly is your source for reliable home service providers in your area. Things like Mr. Electric, Mr. Rooter, Molly Maid, names that you recognize like that. Go to neighborly.com and you can start your search to get some help with things around the house.
All right. Today's question comes from Lucas in the Ramsey Baby Steps community. You can find that on Facebook. He says, I just recently got engaged. My fiance is bringing $96,000 of student loan debt into the relationship. I am debt free and I've been saving up to buy a home. So far, I have $93,000 saved. I know that once we're married, her debt is also my debt. So I'm wondering, do I take the money I have saved for a house to almost pay off her student loans and then get back to saving for a house? Or do I buy a house and then get intense to pay off the student loans? Oh boy. Okay, Lucas.
This is hard.
It's hard, but here's what I would do if I were in your shoes. This is your fiance. It's not your girlfriend. So the plan is that you're going to get married and you know that that's coming around the bend. What I would do is keep this money, this $93,000 set aside. The moment you put a ring on it, the moment you say I do, you guys are essentially in baby step 2. Well, baby step 1, you'll keep $1,000 of this for your $1,000 saved, and you'll put the other $92,000 on her student loans. And then you guys will pay those off. You'll save up 3 to 6 months of expenses. And then and only then will you go to baby step 3B and start saving for a home down payment. And I know when I said that, you got a lump in your throat. You might have lost your lunch a little bit because you've been saving for a long time. But that's the glory of love, Dave.
It's the cost of putting a girl in it.
Okay. Well, I mean,
in this case,
I feel his pain.
Putting this girl in it.
Yeah, I feel his pain. This is who you brought.
This is, yeah. When you look back on this 1,000 years, 100 years from now, 500 years from now, 20 minutes from now, you won't think anything about it.
That's
but
true.
At the moment you write that check right after you get married, you're going to be going, I'm going to kill you.
That's the song. Somebody knew my reference. You got to give a little, take a little, let your poor heart break a little. That's the story of. That's the glory of love.
Yeah, there you go.
So his heart is breaking because of this, and I feel for you, Lucas. But that is the right thing to do. Just go ahead and don't get the house first, even though you're like, man, I've been saving. Because if you get the house first, you're gonna get married, and then you guys are gonna be in debt, and it's not gonna be fun living there and paying off this debt.
I got to tell you, this is also going to make you triple check in your pre-marriage counseling that this lady's going to swear she's going to never borrow money again.
Yes.
Because if she thinks she's going to go back in debt after you do this, we got other problems.
Mm-hmm.
We got other problems. So, I mean, she's got to go. I'm never even going to walk near a credit card. I'm not going to walk near a car lot with a car payment. We're never going to ask you to go into debt, ever. If she can't make that kind of a pledge and make you believe it, you got other issues.
Yeah.
Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. This is the Ramsey Show. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Dia is with us. Hey, girl, how are you?
I'm good. It's Deja.
Deja.
Like deja vu. Yes.
Ooh,
Deja.
okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me because I would have messed it up for the next 15 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live in Chicago, South Side.
Welcome
Cool.
to Nashville. Good to have you. How much debt have you paid off?
$80K.
All right.
Right. Good for you. And how long did this take?
It took me 2 years. It would have took me a little bit less, but I kept starting over and starting back again. So, yeah,
Okay.
2 years.
All right. And what was your income during that 2 years?
$50K.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
Right now I work for Uber. I actually work for their headquarters in sales. But back then when I was paying off my debt, I was working in retail. I was a store manager for Foot Locker.
Okay. Good for you.
Thanks.
Okay. So tell me about this. Tell me what got you started on this 2 years ago. And then while you're at it, go ahead and tell me about the starting over part.
Yeah.
Yes. So I actually follow Asia Dang. She actually came down here and she was on the podcast as well. And once I graduated college, I was just like, oh my God, I have so much debt. I had 13 credit cards, Dave. 13. Just because I just did not know anything about money. I was not taught how to manage money. I was just like, oh, credit card, you gave me this amount, that's free money. But I never really understood interest and anything like that.
And
so
that part where you have to pay it back.
yeah, absolutely, right? I was like, wow, I got to pay this back? I thought you was trying to give it to me. But yeah, so I would pay off something, I would congratulate myself, and then I would go back into it just because I was like, oh, these jeans or these shoes, I really want them. And it was just back and forth. And then watched Asia. She paid off $200K in 2 years. So
For those of you who don't know, she became an influencer while doing her debt-free journey and then following our stuff and then came down here and did our debt-free scream. I didn't know. She's like a star.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then she came in and I'm like, I just was in the presence of royalty and I didn't know it.
Yes.
So, yeah,
so
she's
shout
a
out
big
to
deal.
Asia for that. She actually put me on to you, and then I just listened to the podcast every day. Going to work, I would just turn on the podcast and I would just hear all these people saying like, oh, I paid off my house, I paid off this, I paid off that. And a lot of the people that I was surrounded by just was not doing the same things that you were preaching. And coming from a low income family, strictly minorities, it was nobody was talking about it. It was just like, why would you pay off debt? You're gonna live, like literally people would tell me you're gonna die in debt, so why are you trying to pay it off? So just hearing that, I was just like, oh dang. But I finally did it, and I actually paid off my last bit of debt. It was my last student loan. People were telling me like, don't do it, the government is gonna give you the money back. And I'm like, I am not about to wait on this government. Like, I'm just not about to wait on them. So I paid off my last student loan on Thanksgiving Day, and I was just so grateful. It didn't hit me until I called Dawn and I was just like, I would like to do my debt-free scream, and then I cried.
I love it.
Yeah.
Very good. Good
Thank
for
you.
you. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So now, I get the on and off again, on and off again, and I really appreciate you telling that story because a lot of times people, that happens, and then when they get on the debt-free stage, they don't want to tell that part, and they really did do that. So I appreciate your authenticity on that.
Thank you.
Did you reach a point, though, that you were saying, now I'm just on? Not going to be tempted by these jeans again.
Yeah,
I'm done. I got to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. It was, so my original debt when I first started was $40K.
Okay.
But I actually added another $40K in debt because I was just adding credit cards. I was just doing so much dumb stuff, and I just did not have the right people in my corner to like motivate me and keep me on track. And then when I realized like, you just got another $40K in debt and you don't even have a house. You don't even have an apartment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still living at home with your mom and you're 25 years old. And it was just embarrassing. And I was just like, you know what? This has got to stop.
There it is.
Yeah,
it's the behavior. It's the behavior change. So you were doing the right things with money, but you hadn't changed your full behavior.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows pay off your debt, do this, but you had to get to the behavior part. Love it.
Yeah.
Whew. So what was the what was your response to all the haters? Because I know there are folks out there on the haterade like, oh, why are you paying off your student loans? How did you respond to that? Because that's everywhere right now, by the way.
It was coming from my family. It was coming from my family. Family has a weird way of just like saying something that'll just make you change your entire mind. And they weren't doing it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to be the first in my family to do this. I was the first in my family to go to college. I was the first in my family to, pledge a sorority. I was the the first in my family to do all these things. I'm going to be the first in my family to be debt free. And then I'll come back and I'll get my mom, I'll get my sisters, so I'll get my brothers, and then we'll get all on track. So I think it was just trying to block it out and just listen to the podcast. Truly, like, the podcast was my best friend, and then also praying to God, because Lord knows I literally was just horrible with money. So it was just tuning it out and just keeping going. And then once I highlighted everything off, I was just like, you know what? You're that girl.
You did it. You did it. Yeah.
Wow. I bet your family's proud of you now. I bet now they're wondering, how did you do it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's exciting. That's exciting.
Good for you. Well done. Very well done. The power of your family of origin, number one, the neighborhood you grew up in, me too. Yeah. The power of that, and the power of the people you currently decide to run around with, that you make the people that are influencing you. You speak like them. You read the same books they do. You develop the same values. You'll even adjust your accent to fit. And it's human nature. Yeah. Be not deceived. Deceitful company corrupts good habits, Scripture says. And so when you hang out with deceitful company, when you hang out with people who are doing the opposite of what you want to do, it's very difficult to do. And you brought that up 3 or 4 times as you were talking about this. And so but it highlights it. It's very, very important you've got to put new inputs into your brain. You've got to put new things into your brain to get the junk out. And I got a good friend that grew up in really, really rough circumstances, and he's become very wealthy, but he said, getting out of the hood was easier than getting the hood out of me. And that's a saying, what we're talking about. I mean, you got these tapes that play inside of us from the way we grew up. People like us, or I always heard, little men can't get ahead. You always heard, well, you're going to die with debt, know. And these are all these, they don't mean to be negative, but they just, like, Eeyore is their spiritual animal.
Yeah, they just don't know. They say what they know. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's all they know. And it's just...
But now they're going to learn something different because of you.
You broke the chains.
Yes.
Well done.
Changing my family tree.
There you go. Well done.
Very good.
Up, down, or sideways. It's good with me on that tree. However you want to get at it. I like it. Very well done. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Good work. Good work. Congratulations. All right. Now, when someone asks, with all you've been through, and on again, off again, but finally on, what is the key to getting out of debt?
I would probably say the budget, for sure. Making sure that you actually know what you owe. Now that I'm helping, I actually have my own business now. It's called Budget Boss Life. And I'm helping young minority students who are in college and going to college, helping them to know exactly what you owe and taking it from there. I feel like if you don't know, if you're too scared to look, then you're not going to ever know, and it's just going to keep building.
I'm going to give you a case of Total Money Makeover books for them, okay?
I need that.
We'll ship them to you, so you have to carry them on the plane. But we're also going to give you the Baby Steps Millionaires book, the Total Money Makeover book, Financial Peace University, as your gift for being here. But we're going to help you with the next 26, I think, is in a case, or 24 is in a case, something like that. We'll give you a case of them, and we'll get your shipping information and send it out to you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, Deja, way to go from Chicago. $80,000 paid off in 2 years, making $50K. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. I'm debt-free!
Yeah! That's how it's done. Woo! Love it. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, John 8:12. Jesus spoke to the people once more and said, I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness, because you will have the light that leads to life. Corrie ten Boom said, now I know in my experience that Jesus' light is stronger than the biggest darkness. And she had that experience without a doubt. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Sherry is in Detroit, Michigan. Hi, Sherry. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, thank you very much.
Thank you. How can we help?
So my husband and I, we've been following you for probably 5 or 6 years of following the baby steps, and it's allowed us to get to step 6 pretty quickly. So we're now in a position recently where we could finish paying off our mortgage, or we just refinanced about 2.5 years ago for 2.5%. So we have a really low mortgage rate.
What made you decide that following us was not a good idea after you've been following us?
Oh, nothing. I just so our families, like, we both come from families like we're without money. We don't know anyone that has money. If we are now in a position where we do have it, and
I know, but you followed us all the way through till you got here.
Well, until we have a lot of people talking to us saying, hey, well,
you followed us
like our financial
and did
advisors.
everything against what everyone says to do, and did what we said to do until you got here. You follow? You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now suddenly we don't know what we're doing. I'm picking on you, Sherry. Pay off your house, girl.
Okay. That's, just the only thing, we keep going back and forth with. Our mortgage rate is so low.
I know.
We invest that and get something returned greater, but.
I know.
Okay.
And you're going to stay in debt the rest of your life, and you're going to be normal like all those people that you were doing stupid stuff with before.
Okay. I think this is what I needed to hear.
Yeah. Get out of debt.
That's why I called.
Finish the baby steps.
Okay.
Don't get to baby step 6 and turn left.
See it through.
And when you're debt-free, 100% house and everything, you'll have control of your most powerful wealth-building tool. You're going to have a level of financial peace that you've never had in your entire life, and maybe that none of your friends have ever had, and maybe that your family has never had. You're 100% debt-free at that point. How old are you?
We're 35 and 36.
Oh, man.
And so you're going to be multi-millionaires if you just take your house payment and the old payments you used to have and start investing those.
How much is left on the house?
About $150.
Oh, yeah. Come on now. Come on and get it. And then when you're done, you'll be able to invest to your heart's content.
And be unreasonably generous, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't quit now. You're almost there. Don't give up at the end. Almost to the end. And then all of a sudden, 2.5% sounds like a good idea to stay in debt.
A lot of people do that. They get through the hard part of the race, and then the last 10% is there, and they quit. Don't do it.
Kelsey's in Wichita, Kansas. Hi, Kelsey. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. I'm super excited to talk to you guys.
You too. How can we help?
So my husband and I are in baby step 2. We have our $1,000 emergency fund. We are in the process of trying to get rid of our stupid toys that we don't need. And so we have a travel trailer that we currently owe about $43,000 on.
Good Lord.
We have an outright buy offer from a dealership for $33,000.
Oh, good.
So about $10,000 less than we owe.
Good.
However, and I can take out, a personal loan to cover that difference.
Do it.
But if I do that, the interest on it is going to be 10.75%, and it's on a 58-month payoff for $250 a month.
You're not going to be in it for 58 months, though.
It'll be like 4 or 5 months to pay it off. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not even going to pay 5%.
Right. So my question was,
six months of a 10.5% annual rate is 5%.
True. Yeah. Yeah. The other option that we had is there's another dealership that will consign it.
Nope.
No, you would go ahead and get rid of it.
Consign it as you still own it, and you hope they sell it before they sell one of their own off the lot.
Right.
No, thank
now
you.
I have to go tell my husband he was right.
Gosh, I'm sorry about that part, but yeah. Here's the thing.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. The beautiful part about this. Let's walk through here. Why am I going there so fast? All right. I like $10,000 in debt a lot more than I like $40,000 in debt.
Yep.
Right.
I like getting rid of a camper, which goes down about as fast or faster than anything else with wheels.
Mm-hmm.
If you screw around with this thing sitting on the consignment lot for 10 months, it might go down another $10,000.
Right. And we can get rid of it and then downgrade our truck that we don't need anymore to pull it.
Stopped the bleeding. We've stopped the bleeding. It's done. It's over. The story is in the rearview mirror. Now we've just got to sweep up the last 10,000, and that is a fixed amount that is not going anywhere.
Got it.
We've locked in our losses. They're not going to get worse. The story's not going to drag out. It's over. Now kill the $10,000 and it's really over, right? That's why I went there so fast.
Got it. Just pay the stupid tax and be done.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And actually, what I've learned to tell myself is I'm not even paying the stupid tax there. I'm just admitting it. Because I've already paid it when the thing went down in value.
True that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And so, I've already made the mistake. All I'm doing is admitting it when I sell it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's powerful. Well done.
Yeah. They're willing to sell off some things to get this done. That's exciting.
Hey, our stupid toys, she said.
Yep.
And, man, people got some stupid toys.
Yeah.
And listen, we're not against toys. We're against stupid toys.
At the wrong time.
Okay, what's a stupid toy? A stupid toy is one you have debt on. Listen, one guy told me, he said, my bass boat. And I'm like, dude, your bass boat is $550 a month. And I made him sit down. We were doing a small group at a Financial Peace University. I made him sit down and add up how many bass he caught a year and what the average pounds were. And we divided out that those bass were costing him something like $160 a pound by the time he got them home.
That's
and
hilarious.
It's like, dude, this is freaking beluga caviar here. This is not bass.
That is hilarious.
So it's not. Don't tell me you're feeding your family, please.
Right,
okay. Please don't tell me that. All right. It's nothing wrong with a bass boat. I don't have a bass boat, but I got a couple of Mastercrafts and I got Sea-Doos and all this other crap. But I pay cash for them, and they're going down in value.
Yeah.
And they're the top of the line, best of everything, and I love them. And they're toys.
Yeah.
And they're a small percentage of my world. So stupid toys are toys that are a large percentage of your world, or that you have payments on, or both.
Right.
And I have done stupid toys, as many as Kelsey probably, or maybe even more. But I've also done toys the right way, and then they don't bother me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So go further into that, because we know what that means when it comes to cars, right? We don't pay cash for a brand new car until we're a millionaire.
Right.
And then there's people who want to get boats and Sea-Doos and campers. So explain to the people what's too much and when they can do all that and how they can do all that without getting ridiculous.
I use a couple of rules. Rule number one I use is the total of everything you own with motors and wheels. Campers, wheels, no motor. Boats, motors, no wheels, right? Mm-hmm. All that. But motors or wheels, all those things go down in value. And the total of all those things you own should never be more than half your annual income. Should be a small percentage of your world. Mm-hmm. The second rule I use is if I set fire to it and it had no insurance, does it change my life financially? Am I financially devastated because the item, I just completely blew that amount of money? Because in essence, you're blowing that amount of money.
Right.
It needs to be like a friend of mine's a billionaire and he bought like a $400,000 car. For him buying that, it's like most of us buying a biscuit.
Right.
Right. So it needs to be a non-issue in the mathematics. Mm-hmm. He could burn that car to the ground once a week and it won't change his life.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the point. It's a non-issue. But people buying crap to make themselves look good or to be big dogs, they're always the broke people.
Right.
I'm driving a Jaguar and only the money to put gas in it, back when I was broke.
Yeah.
And so we've all done that stuff. So that's where you break the cycle. Jade Washaw, good show today.
Same
Good job,
to you.
Austin, Ben, James, Zach, and Andrew in the booth dudes that make this happen. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
Hey, what's What's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.